Breaking inputs coming in. The Lieutenant Governor of Delhi has now recommended CBI to probe into the Delhi excise policy of Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. The Lieutenant Governor, Shri VK Saxena, has now recommended for a CBI investigation into the contentious Delhi excise policy of 2021 to 22 of the Arvind Kejriwal government after a report by the Chief Secretary that is dated 8th of July 2022 established that prima facie violations norms. For more details, let's quickly go across to Akash Sharma and Nikhil Lakhwani, who are both live with us. Akash, first of all, we were just discussing the tussle between the L-G and Kejriwal. Now, this seems to be the latest flashpoint. Why is the new excise policy under the Delhi government now coming under the scanner?
So, Akanksha, this policy was very much in news because of the opposition parties, because initially opposition parties were opposing this particular policy that was implemented in November 2021. But now we are learning that LG has recommended a CBI probe into this particular policy. Also, if I can tell you the crisp points, because, the information that we have at this point in time, this is the violation of prima facie, this is the violation of Transaction of Business Rules 1993, Delhi Excise Act 2009. And also, this is indicating the financial quid pro at the top of political level. So somewhere, it has been said that this policy was initially opposed by the political parties, but now even LG is believing after the report of Chief Secretary there is something, that is not appropriate, that is not right, and that's the reason why CBI probe has been recommended by Lieutenant Governor. Also, let me read out some points because the information that we have got. The Excise Department, on the direction of Manish Sisodia, he was the Excise Minister at that time, decided to refund EMD amounting to rupees 30 crore to the L1 bidder of license of airport zone which failed to obtain NOC. They are talking about the NOC that was obtained by a license holder at the airport area. So the point is saying that Excise Department, on the direction of Manish Sisodia, the minister, decided to refund the EMD amount. On the other hand, we have the second point, which is saying that the Excise Department in its order dated 8/11/2021 without the approval of competent authority revised the formula of calculation of rate of foreign liquor and removed the import fees at 50 per case. So there are several points on the basis of which this particular probe has been recommended, and let me tell you that this was very much in news because opposition parties were clearly saying that this is the violation. Even in Delhi we were seeing that how on one bottle was free initially, and also they were giving heavy discounts on the liquor. So at this point in time, this is very much important because LG has recommended this particular probe after the report that was given by Chief Secretary. This is very important and breaking on CNN News 18, Akanksha.
Right. This is indeed some crucial piece of breaking news coming in. On that note, let me also take a question from Nikhil Lakhwani, who's also live with us. Nikhil, I remember in 2021 of November, the Aam Aadmi Party actually brought in this entire new policy as far as the excise policy is concerned, in the garb of revolutionizing the entire consumer experience. Having said that, let's go back to what the policy was back in 2021, because I can go through the facts. The Delhi government had back then issued 400 liquor vending licenses to private players, and we are looking at an amount that was apparently over 9,000 crore rupees, which was generated only by generating those 400 licenses to private players.
Well, Akansha, that's right. And as per the new excise policy which was implemented by the Kejriwal government in the national capital, Delhi, and as per the policy, close to 700 to 800 new liquor private vents were opened in the national capital, which were already controversial since the start. In fact, the Delhi BJP as well, they opposed the particular decision by the cabinet, which actually passed the decision of implementing the excise policy. And not just the Delhi BJP. In fact, there were other like-minded as as well who actually protested for the same, and these were the civil society, religious groups, educational institutions, parents' body and the opposition alike. They all were saying that this is the contentious which has been passed by the Delhi government, and now the big allegations are coming in from different corners, and the CBI inquiry has been ordered, as mentioned by Akash Sharma as well, that this is after the note which has been given by the Chief Secretary of the LG, and Chief Secretary has done so with the respect of the power given to him to raise any of the issue if there is any deviation in the national capital, Delhi, with respect to the Chief Minister or the LG. But the important point to note here, Akansha, is that the note given by the Chief Secretary says that it is pertinent to note that even as migrants were leaving the city due to lack of the basic subsistence income, street vendors were facing challenge to the livelihood, dhabas, restaurants, hotel, gyms, schools, they were facing financial trouble because of the Delta variant of the COVID virus. At that particular time, the Delhi government, in fact, the Excise Department, which falls under the jurisdiction of Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, they allowed a waiver of rupees 144 crore singularly to the liquor cartel on the tendered license fee under the excuse of COVID-19. While the people were dying, on the other side, Delhi government were providing huge waiver to the liquor cartel, which is currently operational in the national capital. And also the overall excise policy, Akansha, you see the overall waiver has caused huge blow, huge financial blow, financial losses to the public exchequer. This is the reason why the flag has been raised by Chief Secretary to LG, and now LG has allowed for the CBI inquiry. And clearly, as mentioned by you earlier as well, Akansha, that this is going to be a fresh flashpoint between the Delhi government and the LG.
Right.
Since the LG
Right.
has taken
Nikhil,
over, we
stay
know
with
that
us
yesterday...
because I'm also joined in by Mr. Harish Khurana of the BJP. Mr. Khurana, we are learning now that the LG has recommended for a CBI probe into the new excise policy that has been implemented by the AAP government in Delhi. What are your thoughts?
Sir, we welcome the decision of the Lieutenant Governor of recommending the CBI inquiry on the excise policy. See, if you remember, last year also we did a press conference and showed a paper to the press that the major tender flout has been happened. There's a flout in the tender norms in which blacklisted companies, I'm naming the Khao Gali restaurant who has given the two zones in the tender. Khao Gali restaurant, who was blacklisted, excise department has given the two zones. Cartel is not allowed. Cartel has there was more than maximum two companies is allowed in each zone. But over here, through cartel, 6 zones have been allotted. Third, manufacturing company cannot be entered in retail sector. Over here, flouting of tender has clearly happened without the corruption. It cannot be happen. A manufacturing company has entered into retail sector. So we have complained into Excise Department. Last year, Excise Department has issued a show cause notice to these 6 companies who have flouted the tender. But unfortunately, because of the pressure of the Arvind Kejriwal, nothing has happened. Now, this time, when Chief Secretary has recommended to Lieutenant Governor and Lieutenant Governor has passed on the file to CBI, we welcome the decision. And we all know, we have the papers with us and we have the proofs that this has happened. And some money has been transferred from here and there without the knowledge of Arvind Kejriwal. It cannot be happened.
Mr. Khurana, since your government is at the center, could you give us any insight into how soon we can expect the CBI to now step in, and will the probe actually now take place?
See, I am a spokesperson of a political party, not a CBI or nothing. But I am sure the papers what we have and papers which have been into public domain also, and last year also we have submitted to Excise Department also. These papers clearly indicated that some major corruption has happened. As I told you, this flouting of tenders has happened, and I think CBI will take the conscience of this. And I think there was not the Excise Minister, who is Manish Sisodia, and Arvind Kejriwal, who is directly involved in this, will be behind the bar. And remember, Arvind Kejriwal was the one who has done a press conference few days back, and he has said Manish Sisodia will be behind the bar soon. I think this is the indication he has got from the department that the inquiry will be conducted soon.
All right, Mr. Khurana, thank you for speaking to us. Let me also